It's a different Innistrad.
They still have a zomboid on the thing, even though it's not spooky Halloween anymore.
Yeah, it's over. No more Halloween. Skeletons have to go away now.
We've banned all the skeletons.
They're all gone now. They'll be
Yeah,
back.
every single one of them is gone and disallowed. I don't think we're actually going to see any skeletons this time in this gauntlet.
Yeah, the closest we'll get is if we actually see the Rakdos zombie deck.
Like, there's going to be like uh, grave crawler, but
Yeah,
it's not a
and
skeleton.
this, Geralf's messenger here with the
Yeah,
puzzle piece chest.
yeah, but those are
Correct.
zomboids.
Correct.
There's no carnival hellbeast anywhere around here. Hellsteed, the bad horse, that was a skeleton,
No, that'd
I
be really
think.
good if that was around. But yeah, we mentioned what we were going to be doing yesterday, and the little text on the left here tells you we're doing the Innistrad Era Throwback Standard Gauntlet, which
Yeah,
is,
they're wanting to get through these as quickly as possible before the year ends. So this gauntlet is kind of large.
yeah, this is Innistrad Era, which means that it is both like Scars of Mirrodin Innistrad and Innistrad RTR.
Yeah.
This is the last standard I can claim to have. Well, actually, RTR standard is the last standard I can claim to have like played a lot of. But most of the decks in this like gauntlet I'm quite familiar with, as far as like having played with or against them.
Yeah, I started getting a little bit more back into Magic around this time, so I also remember a fair number of these decks.
Yep. And
I had,
thank you, Gnome. Thank you, Gnomebitten,
I,
for
I,
linking.
I'm Numbin. I liked the thing, the article in the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, this standard was defined by a couple big things. First, it was defined by Delver of Secrets. Then it was defined by Then it was defined by like. There's a couple cards that kind of you go in a line, and as they get released, all of a sudden, like the game has to sort of like decks have to change to work with them.
Yeah,
Resto
one of the
Angel might be one of those you'd think of.
deck Restoration Angel. We had, and with Ravnica back, we had duels again, so like mana was perfect.
Yeah, Mono was already really good before that because of Scars duels, so aggressive decks had really good mana bases.
Like there were Scars duels, and then there were Buddy Lands and Innistrad, and then after that there were for shocks. So there were just like a lot of good
Uh,
lands around this
what deck
time.
are we getting? Come on!
What deck do we have? Place your
Nothing. No
bets.
deck. We don't get a deck. Come on.
We don't get a deck. We win. Oh, we're
Oh!
playing
We're
Jund.
Jund. Okay.
This is not the Jund you might be familiar with, but this is still a Jund.
Yeah. So this is the deck that was known as Jund. It was sort of the this contains a couple cards that I think of as the defining cards of the format as they came out. Thragtusk being one of those.
Yeah, we have Thragtusk. It's a perfect creature.
Bonfire of the Damned being another. Bonfire was definitely this card that, like, when it came out, it spiked to like $30 to $40, and a lot of decks were trying to find ways to play it.
Yeah, we've got a fair amount of big X spells, which is not a really common thing anymore, but we're chock full of them here. We also got Rakdos has returned.
Yeah. We have and Keyroot.
Yeah, if we have a Rakdos keyring.
So this
Oh,
this deck is about like getting sort of ramping. There's a little bit of that, but not a ton. But more, it's about like these powerful cards that demand two for ones, or just can control the game on their own, along with very good removal, good removal, good removal, good removal, good removal, good removal, and just card advantaging out your opponent.
yep. And in longer matchups, we have things like Underworld Connections in the sideboard.
Yep.
We have 3 mana Lily, one of everybody's favorite Liliana.
Yep, that's distinctly our deck's answer to Geist of Saint Traft.
Yep. Liliana Minus is a classic answer to Geist of Saint Traft. That's
Um,
Scavenging Ooze.
yeah,
Just like good stuff.
Pillar is a card that this is a card that comes in against like the zombie deck is probably the most common one because you pillar their Geralf's Messenger, pillar their Gravecrawler, you don't see it again. Duress obviously comes in against a lot of the like Sphinx's Rev style decks. Sphinx's Rev was another one of those cards that were like when they came out, it like was a defining shift in how the game played. We've got main deck Scoozes.
Yeah, if main deck Scoozes, they're just in some matchups they'll just be Grizzly Bear.
Yep. Well, even then they'll usually be better than Scavenging Ooze. Even in like most matchups, is going to be better than Grizzly Bear because of this existing at the same time as
Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah. So even like if it's not gaining life and putting 1/1 counters on itself, it's still denying Snapcaster by existing.
The reason that curse is in the sideboard is because there are Anthem decks and there are decks that produce 1/1 tokens behind Acidic Slime.
Yes, Curse of Death's hold. Trying to think of the main thing that this would be up against, like when this would get boarded in. Like I would consider boarding this in against a couple of the more token-heavy decks that are Lingering Souls based.
I guess it also, like, if you play this against Delver, like, Snaps dies, Stalker dies, Delver dies. I guess then you just have to worry about Geist to Saint Draft.
Yeah, there's a couple decks where this is pretty good against them. I think the if you get this down against if you for some reason boarded this in against the zombie deck, I can see a lot of cards that answers straight. Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, Gravecrawler, Knight of Infamy. But I don't know. When I think of Curse of Death's Hold, I actually think of it as a sideboard card against Splinter Twin decks, which that's not a thing here. So anyway, so we've taken a look at our deck. We've got creature base. Let me go ahead and sort this by CMC so you can better see how our deck is functioning. Bit top heavy. That's what the Farseeks are for.
You got the Farseek and the Rakdos Kieran too.
Yep.
I really want to do that on 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've just got lots of different types of removal to vary our way through the early game. It's an incredibly varied amount of removal set because A, you have access to all these different things, might as well use them, and B, like it means that you're a little less predictable. But
plus, we have the classic play of using Thragtusk with Guruk Primal Hunter.
Yeah. Just minus draw 5 cards.
Draw 5 cards.
All right. Let's just jump right on in. I don't think
no changes we want to make?
I don't think there's any changes. We've talked about most of the sideboard. Underworld Connections is like a sideboard against control decks so that you can outcard them. It's like a Phyrexian Arena that costs some mana, but you can turn it off.
Mm-hmm. We have, like, if we want to go down on dudes, there's Barter and Blood. We have Graph Digger Stage, because there's a Reanimator deck.
Yep.
Duress against another control matchup. We have lots of options.
Yeah.
The classical problem with the Jund is that it's a very, very reactionary deck. Like, our goal is to disrupt our opponent while also just playing a 4 or 5 card drop card. But we're going to do that, and we are going to win.
All right. Let's see what sort of deck we run into.
It's time to lose to Delver of Secrets.
So this was not a deck I specifically played with, but I played against this a lot. This was a pretty popular one in the area. Crondo 9, born in the year 1909.
1909? Yeah, that's definitely when they were born.
Yeah. Yes, we'd like to play first. Farseek.
2 landers that are far. Are you willing to take... I think we could take a shock for a Farseek, but what does that get us?
Yeah, the problem is like, it gets the Futurefy Tragic Slip, but we need to draw 2 lands to be able to get up to these 2. I think that's still okay. I'm not
Yeah, I don't love this hand, but I also can't hate it.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm okay with the hand.
Yeah.
Let's see what our opponent's got going on. Like, I think the hand's fine. Like, I wish it had one more. No, we do not want to pay 2 life.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Did you get your mouse cursor to show up in the streams nowadays?
Yes.
They do not show up on Discord streams.
Ooh.
Okay, we got Steam
Steam
Vents.
Vents tells me it's going to be the Sphinx's Rev control deck.
Yeah, we are playing against Ur Flash. They're the only deck playing. Okay.
That
I
means
guess you
like,
can play that instead of Blood Crypt.
yeah.
This means that most of our removal is worthless.
Yeah, it means in game one a lot of our cards are bad. Overgrown Tomb is here. Blood Crypt is here. I want the Stomping Ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, our opponent is the Sphinx's Rev deck. This is the deck that plays Sphinx's Revelation. It plays Snapcaster Mage. It plays
It plays
Wraths.
Supreme Verdicts. It's got Arzori's Charm. Is it 1x? Is it Charm? Some Dissipates, Syncopates.
Yeah.
There's going to be. We have to resolve something.
Yeah. Rakdos's Return is a good threat against them. They play Syncopate, right?
They do.
Alright, I'm not gonna bother trying it then. Would you like pay 2 life? No. Let's just pass.
So the problem with this is they're going to have. It's going to be holding up their lands every turn, and they're going to sink twice.
Yes, they have a lot of things to do with their mana
Mm-hmm.
as the game develops.
They got their Moorland thing.
Alright. Let's go ahead and grab our third green source for Garrick. Unless they don't want this to resolve, which I would probably like if...
Yeah, I would adore them to dissipate this. I would absolutely love that.
Okay. That's good.
That does kind of say that they've got other counters, though, if they're willing to do that.
True. It also says that
They don't have land.
they're missing land.
Okay. Well, let's try it again.
Are you willing to do that again? All right, now I want the Stomping Ground here. So the biggest trick with this deck is that they effectively can, like, they don't need to tap out for anything.
Yeah, they should think twice here.
Yeah.
There they go.
Like, they will not need to tap out for any move that they make. If they don't have a land here, they gotta discard 2.
Yeah, they've got something, though. Hey, they're just going to shock us, so they don't have... Okay, and they've got a Glacial Fortress. So they still got a counter up.
What do we want to throw into it?
Do you want to just do that?
Doesn't do anything. That's just Fireball for 4.
Yeah. Could try Thragtusk. By the way, we should put a stop on our turn.
Yeah, so that doesn't get revealed.
Yeah. We normally don't have to think about that, but we're playing it. We're playing a Miracle today. We'll do Thragtusk first because.
I'd rather this get countered than the Garrick. I want Garrick to resolve more. Syncopate for 1. Mm-hmm. By the way, a lot of the counters in Standard at this time have exile clauses.
Yeah, because they're like good.
Yeah. Syncopate being a reprint from Odyssey, where Flashback first existed. Dissipate being a reprint from Mirage. Oh,
I think so.
Oh, they found
Yeah, it was from Mirage.
Alright. Is there any way Garrick resolves?
Absolutely not.
Oh, that was not the color I needed. That's the color I need. Like, there's no way.
Syncopate for 2.
Nope.
Syncopate for... Nope, they're dissipating us.
Yeah,
okay.
this is how the deck works.
Mm-hmm. So what counters do they have left?
So Syncopate for 2. I might go ahead and get rid of the snaps because our removal is worthless otherwise.
Yeah. Plus they have Resto.
Yeah, we want that off the table for Resto, so they can't do that. I kind of want to, like, run them out of things so that I can just slam them with this Rakdos return.
Yeah, they've got 1 Dissipate left, 2 Syncopates.
And 3 snaps.
Yeah, 3 snaps. And they also have an Izzet Charm.
I'm just
Don't have anything. Just have some think twices.
This is a match that's very poor for us pre-board because, like, we don't play early threats, which are some of the things that. Okay, they've just got another one of these. So, yeah, this matchup's quite poor for us pre-board and doesn't get much better post-board. From memory,
We'll have like duress and like underworld connections.
Yeah.
And Liliana, I guess.
Yeah. The problem is pre-board, our deck has a bunch of these cards that do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they're like a creature light control deck. How about we just blast them?
Oh, I've got to, like, wait for okay.
Should we put a stop on our upkeep?
No, it won't matter.
Oh, they took it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't want it. Like, here's the trick. Their life total, as long as it's not 0, is unkillable.
Yeah.
Because there's this card they have.
Called Sphinx's Revelation.
Called Sphinx's Revelation.
Do we have any... No, we don't. I was looking for cranial extraction.
We have a surgical on the board? No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, well, I meant surgical extraction.
Yeah. Because, yeah, the problem is at this point, in order to win, we need to resolve a threat, and resolving a threat against a 7-card control opponent is factually impossible. Because Underworld Connections is a card from Return to Rev.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize that, like, it is associated with the Pack Rat or Grey Merchant decks, but it was a card from Return to Rev.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
We bring in Graph Digger's Cage.
Our oozes should deal with that, right? Like.
Yeah, I guess.
And again, they don't care about the burn because their life total is irrelevant.
No, scooping isn't a better use of our time. There's Sphinx revving. Another resto, just for a beater.
Well, that'll win the game in 5 turns and we can't kill it. Cycle their Azorius Charm, because they know they'll never need to stop anything in combat.
There are flukes where we could pull out of this game, so it's not worth scooping, but we are probably losing.
I was gonna say I don't see those worlds. Like, if our opponent's, like, literal 5 hands are nothing, then perhaps. But I somehow doubt that after they missed land drops, telling me that their hand is not land.
I agree, but at the same time, what is this?
Is this just Rev?
Or is this Syncopate for a whole bunch? Okay.
Yeah, we can't.
We can kill their guy, though.
Right. Again, this doesn't get us anywhere, though. Like, now we're empty-handed against a control deck, and they can make another threat. Yes, it takes forever for them to kill us with it, but...
I know. Okay, they're gonna wrath us?
They're just gonna end step Sphinx's Rev for 5? No, they're gonna just... Okay.
Like, if they wrath, then, like, our Thragtusk leaves the battlefield, and we have a 3/3.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds a lot like a Wrath to me.
Or they just decided to use their War Leader Helixes on us.
Okay.
Do you want to, like...
Attack for lethal? Yeah.
Yeah, with our giant guy?
Do they seriously
What?
have nothing? Like, were you just right? Was their hand that garbage?
Was I just right?
If their hand's that garbage, I'm
I mean, am I right?
like, this is lethal. They have to have an Azorius charm to stop us from winning on the spot.
I mean,
Okay,
War
they have an Azorius charm or something. Or there's again, they could just Sphinx's Rev for enough life to not die. Like like every card in their deck stops this, so I don't know how I don't get how there's a chance we'd get the
are they
W
helixing here?
Helix our face to gain enough life. Is there hand just two
Okay.
helixes?
Yep. Okay, I was also right. They just had enough helixes.
Well, that's not lethal though. They need
Yeah,
another point of burn.
they need another point of burn, and we have an abrupt decay if we untap.
Well, Decay can't stop Resto. Decay can only stop... Oh, well, they can't chump here. Again, like... So we go to 1. If they have a Snapcaster or any burn spell...
Or like a pillar in flame. They have a snapcaster. Okay.
Okay, and then that snaps Pillar of Flame or snaps War Leader's Helix and we lose. Okay, they just had all the...
They just went to the burn side. But yeah, it was not that... that was way closer than it could have been.
I don't think we had a chance of winning that still.
Oh yeah, we definitely didn't.
Alright, anyway, bunch of cards I don't care about in here. I don't think that deck even plays any walkers that are... Yeah, they don't tap out at all. Like, we don't want Abrupt Decay, I don't care. Like, a lot of our removal and bonfires just don't do anything.
Yeah.
More
We have, like...
Tragic Slip. I might keep in...
The key rune is honestly fine here.
Yeah. Like...
We do want... Yeah, we keep in the...
Putrefy can't kill Detention Sphere. I don't...
Yeah, can't kill D-Sphere.
Which, like, that can, but Putrefy can't. I want Lilianas, I want Duresses, I want...
Do you just want to have, like, a little bit of removal just to, like, kill a resto, maybe? Or do you, like, maybe just, like, Acidic Slime? Destroy target land? It's not great, but...
I think our other bonfire can become...
Hey, Rakdos Return, definitely. Yes.
Return. A lot of the decks in this format are good stuff. Deck. There's a few that are like made around tribals, but I still need 2 more. I guess I'd just bring in Acidic Slime and Grafdigger's Cage or something like that.
Yeah, or like... Yeah.
Like, Cage is good because it stops... they can't flashback when this card's in play. Players can't cast spells from graveyards. And
Or like...
Slime lets us blow... That's Tragic Slip. That's not the card I clicked on.
Slime does blow up their token-producing land, or just in a land in general.
Well, yeah, token-producing land is the big one. It also blows up D-Sphere, which is an O-Ring that O-Rings everything.
Yeah.
I could bring in Curse of Death's Hold as an anti-Moreland Haunt sort of thing.
Yeah, but Acidic Slime also does that.
Right, but, like, I could bring out Dreadbore. Like, you know, I've got so many cards that are just, like, garbage in here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, the only problem here is that, like, we don't... Like, even... We do, though. Like, I can deal with,
Like, Lily minus kills Resto just as well. Like, they rarely have more than 1 creature.
Why not Doomblade? I don't care about any removal in this match.
Yeah, we're attacking the player, not the opponent's creatures.
Yeah, our opponent, like... Olivia seems awful, but, like...
Attack and deals evil damage.
Right, like... I get it. I understand. You have a lot of, like... You've got a lot of thoughts on this. I get it. We don't have a duel. This hand's a little awkward.
Is it a little awkward? Woof.
Like, we also, like, are stuck with our 1x Abrupt Decay in our opener. Ugh. I'm keeping it, but I don't like this.
Watch us, like, we're going to draw a... Shock.
Well, we need to in order to play that Liliana on time. We might not be able to play that Liliana on time.
You may not.
Nope.
Okay, Farseek it is.
It's gonna get dissipated for one. Oh no. Alright.
Alright.
We want... No. Woodland Cemetery.
And then next turn we just try to cast Olivia.
Or something.
Mm-hmm. Could Farseek and Lily?
No. Farsi comes into play tapped 100%. You,
Okay, battlefield tapped.
You cannot override it by paying 2 life.
Okay. I forgot if Farseek was one of the, like, Nature's Lore type ones or not.
No.
So what are you feeling?
I feel like we gotta play something into it and it's getting counter.
Now then,
Like, I think we throw away the worst threat then into that. Like,
pick your lady.
because I feel like it's a really high chance that it gets countered. And this is the card I would want to get countered.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I accept. If they produce white mana, we can't attack. Okay. They have revealed the contents of their hand. And then we pre-combat...
We can attack
like,
into that.
Forget what Lily's abilities are.
Like, we can pre-combat it. We can attack into that, because if they do play Resto, like, and go to block, I just ping it and we trade. And then I get to play Liliana.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Most likely outcome is they, like, Azorius charm this.
Yeah, they have some Azorius charms.
Nope. Alright, that's through.
Okay, then... try to cast something.
Yeah, what do we want?
I don't think it's Huntmaster.
I'd love to resolve Garrick, but I so doubt that's happening.
Then just like Lily? And if they let it resolve, we just plus Farseek away?
Yeah, that'd work.
Or we either plus Farseek away or just cast it. Like, we could also just discard Abrupt Decay.
Counter unless you pay 3. Alright.
Okay, then we get to Farseek.
Yep.
Pay 3 for a syncopate.
Yeah, and we want to do this as much as we can because we want to both get the lands out of our deck.
And also be able to force their counters to be worse, like their syncopated ones.
Force Syncopate to, like, fail.
Yeah.
Alright.
Hey, that's I don't feel bad committing that into a Wrath.
Yeah, let's keep attacking. I'm actually gonna pass.
Alright. That seems fine. Because if we can, like, force them to Supreme Verdict, then that's our ability to play Garrick. They're not restoing, they're revving here. Gonna rev up.
Turn
and burn.
So I was gonna say that the big... Ooh. Ah, damn it, we can't do it. So there's a cool thing. The reason I left this all untapped is because of the power of Olivia Voldaren.
Yeah.
Yep, wrong ability. Sorry, can't target herself. I wanted them to make it doesn't matter if I targeted herself anyway. The turn and burn still kills her. I wanted them to, like, not be able to make creatures because if they play anything, Olivia just eats it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Olivia's big thing is that she can ping, and then, like, that becomes
yes.
But she gets bigger on the ping too, is the big part. All right.
Huntmaster?
Yeah, I'm thinking Huntmaster. Basically, I'm going in ascending order of threats.
Yeah, like you go like Huntmaster, then Thragtusk, then Garrick, then Rakdos' Return?
Yeah.
Or Rakdos' Return and then Garrick.
And they got another Syncopate. They got a lot of Syncopates.
They're a Sycophant. Okay. So do we, yeah. There's only one Syncopate left and we can't stop it anyways.
Right, like paying the 2 life doesn't change that.
Yep, they're gonna snap.
Again, control decks at this time, like their lists are like, oh, they only have 5 counters, but they actually have 12.
They actually have 12.
And there's very little you can do about any of them. I was of the opinion for the entirety of RTR that if you weren't playing blue-based variants, you were probably making mistakes.
It probably... At least until Theros came around.
Right.
Even then, you could have been playing Master of Waves. Oh, they took the shock.
Yeah, the deck that they're playing will never have to tap out. That's the trick of that deck.
The only circumstance which they have to tap out are turns they are forced to the Wrath. Like, that's it.
Yeah. You saw a lot of different variations on this deck. Some of them used Aetherling as their kill.
Mm-hmm. Invincible thing.
All right.
Swamp.
So there.
Is that an Amonkhet swamp? Oh.
The sad thing about Garruk here is that Garruk dies to a Helix.
Yeah. But is that an Amonkhet swamp, though? Yeah.
Yeah. Blood. So if they play War Leader's Helix, they can kill Garruk. They're probably just gonna think twice at unstep. Oh no, they've got a resto.
Do you want to abrupt decay their?
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because they can't counter anything here.
Yeah, like
they're just playing a 3/4.
They're playing a 3/4 to attack down Garrick.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do they? Yeah, you get some 3/3s out of it though.
They're gonna de-sphere my beast. Okay.
Then we kill snaps to keep Garrick around. If they counter it, this is our opportunity to Rakdos' return.
Well, it can't be countered.
Alright, yeah, it can't be countered. Abrupt Decay is good, remember?
Yeah.
Every time I remember Abrupt Decay, it like gains another line of text.
The problem here is that like Rakdos' return on them isn't terribly effective.
No. It could be a mind rot if thus they counter it.
And we're running out of threat.
Yeah.
Could just be Fireball.
It could just be Fireball.
Do you just want to tap out for Fireball at them?
If it makes them mind rot?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it means they can't attack with Resto anymore.
And even if they have some way of like syncopating this and punishing me for overexerting mana, for one, they could do that on like 4, so I would have to really lay off and basically let this be Mind Rot with no damage. Mm-hmm. I'm going for the damage.
Yeah. I think they just dissipate it. Or they're going to...
Sphinx's Rev. This is a Sphinx's Rev for 2 because it gains them 2 life. They'll still lose the cards, but the cards might have flashback. So.
Yeah.
This is good. They're almost empty-handed. The problem is that they're not actually empty-handed because of this Think Twice in the yard.
They have a Think Twice.
And the Moorland Haunt means that they can generate threats. So we've gotten them into a decent position, but we are not yet there.
Which means it's time for us to start drawing swamps.
True. So, goodbye to Garrick.
Please bless us with a... They did not think twice. Please bless us with a... That's that one. Okay. I was hoping to be blessed with a Underworld Connections.
Yeah, that'd be good here.
They have another resto.
They might just chump block with... Nope, they drew another resto off the top. That's poor. We're dead in 2? We only get 1 draw step here before we die.
And I guess we Farseek hoping for another Rakdos' return. Wouldn't that just be pinky? Just like, okay, we win because we cast Fireball twice.
That's all we can hope for at this point, because they have us dead next turn. Like, not next turn, but like...
Soon. Turn after.
They Moorland Haunt make a 1/1 attack for 7, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was not great.
And they see it. Yeah.
Wonder how different this would be if we had replaced half the threats in our hand with Duress.
Probably still be getting beat down to Resto Angels.
Yeah, but like we could make one of them like we could have cast that Garrick like 2 turns earlier. Well, we get to see what the final card is. Cliff Trop Retreat. It's Trops.
Yep.
Hooray!
Yeah.
John faced his worst matchup and lost.
Yeah, the main deck for that matchup is horrid. You have 12 you have arguably 17 cards in your main deck that are like these cards are worthless. And then post that you still have like 6 cards in your main deck that are like these cards are worthless.
Hey, these cards aren't very good. Yes, we would have won if that was another Rakdos return, but it wasn't. It was Duress. It was the card I was just talking about us needing many turns before.
Yep. But yeah, blue, go figure, blue was an incredibly strong color in the format where it had Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, blue is just...
The card I attached to in the format was actually Resto.
Yeah, of course.
Because Resto is like is on top of being a 3/4 flash, on top of being a flyer, it also like lets you reuse come to play effects, and it's just really, really strong.
It's hard to say whether it or Snaps is the more powerful card, but who cares because they work so well together. Yeah. You have both.
Yeah. I think Snaps is the more powerful one, but Snaps also gets more powerful the further back in formats you go, you know.
Yeah. But it's why you have, it's why white, blue, red Delver decks can't exist. It's because of guys like Resto can go into that kind of a deck, and we're playing FTB, I think.
Flip, there's an I in there.
Oh, well, the text resolution on the Discord screen share isn't the greatest.
This hand is a mold of 5.
This hand is perfect. Hit the mulligan button.
Yeah, so Bonfire in your opener might as well be a mulligan most times. Sure hope our opponent is weak to Rakdos return.
They mulliganed, so we could have... yeah, I think so.
Alright.
I think the eventuality, what our hand is telling us is that we are going to cast Rakdos' Return for 4 mana for Blightning.
Yeah, for Blightning.
Yeah. It's like we cast either Dreadbore next turn or turn 3, and then what if we just cast Blightning? Okay, we're playing against.
Okay.
We're playing against Gravecrawler. So how?
Do I just want to Dreadbore this now?
Do we just want to? Well, let's see.
So this
all of their small creatures are relatively the same amount of scariness. It's not going to be till turn 4, and even then, every creature they have past 4 is like haste.
Yeah, well, also unkillable. Let's spend this while we have it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the Rakdos zombie deck.
Mm-hmm. See things like Gravecrawler and Diregraph Ghoul. This one still has Knight of Infamy in it. Geralf's Messenger. Then they top out at Thundermaw, Hellkite.
They have Hellrider as well. They have some very, very strong pieces.
One of my favorite cards in it is Sign in Blood.
Counter Souls naming zombie. Their hand contains a Geralf's Messenger. I'm like 90% on that. Nope.
Okay. And I guess we Mind Rot them next turn.
Yeah, we get to Mind Rot him next turn, which is good. Like, that brings him to 3 cards. So here comes Geralf's Messenger.
I really hope we draw a land for Garrick. That would be pretty nice. Just being able to produce 3/3s.
Yeah. Would actually, like, work against their board.
So this is the kind of matchup where we bring in things like Barter and Blood.
Also, Pillar of Fire.
Pillar of Flame definitely too. Basically all of our little like even like Tragic Slip there. Is that better than the?
I'm gonna go for the blasters.
Let's blast them.
Otherwise, like, if I wait one more turn, this card is just dead in my hand.
Yeah, blast them. It's a shock plus him to Turok.
Yep.
Garrick does not win this matchup flat. From A, Thundermaw Hellkite. B, if you read the card Hellrider, it can just kill Garrick on attacks and for free.
Speaking of cards to hit, all right.
Okay, so we got rid of the card they were beating us with next turn.
Yeah. So unless they drew land and another Hellrider, like, we're in the clear. They probably have another Knight of Infamy or another. Oh
Geralf's
God.
Messenger.
So we kind of need to draw the
land. We need to draw.
Well, we need the land
we need
for
to draw
Garrick.
land. If we're not doing land for Garrick, then it's like Rakdos Return and a Tragic Slip. Woof.
Oh God. So we lose this game, just as a heads up.
Yeah, because if we block Geralf's Messenger, it dies, then comes into play, we lose.
Yeah.
We go to -1.
We die to Geralf's Messengers, lose 2 life.
Yeah. I think some of the Rakdos' returns are coming out.
Again, so that's sort of the thing with Jund in
Game 1s are rough a lot.
Like,
you're playing a reactive deck, but you don't know what you're going to react to yet.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move along. So yeah, anyway, let's get those Pillar Flames in there. I don't really think Rakdos Return is going to be doing anything.
Do we want, like, Liliana or Barter in Blood? Or do we just want to, like, cast a powerful creature?
Like, what we needed in that matchup was Huntmasters. Those are the cards that are the best for us in the early.
Well, Olivia would also have been good, just because of, like, pinging off small creatures and, like, maybe stealing them later.
Yeah.
Could bring in another Tragic Slip. I don't know.
Yeah.
Scooze is good here, too.
Scooze is definitely staying in, because it can stop the Persist. And we need to keep in things like Putrefy and Tragic Slip and
all of our removal. How about Doomblade?
How about Doom? Hold on, yeah, I was just looking. I was like, wait a minute.
How about Doomblade? What do we want over Doomblade? Like Tragic Slip or Liliana? Maybe Barter in Blood. We lost.
We lost
to Geralf's Messengers.
Yeah. This deck doesn't win fast, so.
Nah, it doesn't win. It's kind of a grindy deck.
Slip 3? I don't know if I like Slip 3.
Yeah, I don't think they are playing Doombladeable creatures. It's just
they're
It's just Hellrider and Thundermaw Hellkite.
Right.
So the turn you do kill them, it is very important. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this looks this wants the top 10 to be very good.
Yep. I'm considering the odds on this mulligan.
Well, we can kill their 1-drop unless it's a 2/2. We have a bunch of lands in our deck. We're on the draw. We're on the play, actually. Yeah, we lost.
Yep.
I don't like this hand.
I don't like it, but I'm about 70% certain that our 6 looks worse.
That's the kind of calculations that set me and Jins apart. He can think about what hands look like that aren't this, whereas I can merely look at what's in front of me. And
Like, I don't... Like, this is clearly dependent on the top,
yeah, our life total's important.
Yeah.
Next turn we can play Woodland Cemetery, or we can Tragic Slip if we need to.
Okay, Gravecrawler, which sucks. Like, the Tragic Slip is funny in this matchup because it absolutely sucks. Against every card in the deck except for one.
Yeah.
But we can't get rid of it because of that one. Otherwise, Falcon Wrath will eat us alive.
Mm-hmm. It kills Knight of Infamy too. So there's that.
True, if they do have that. They don't have it. They would have played it pre.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, a pass? And we drew a Blood Crypt.
Oh, we talked about that top 10.
They're going to Searing Spear us.
That's what they're thinking about.
I really like Jund decks, but I really like them when they have Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek in them. Cards that are just good against every deck.
Yeah, I don't think that this is the weakest deck in the Gauntlet. I think that this is one of the weaker ones in the Gauntlet because it's not playing around some of the bigger, like, I cannot describe how powerful Sphinx's Rev was in Standard.
Yeah, it was like a dominating card. Also, I can see your mouse cursor now. Did you look at a web page?
Yeah, I'm looking at the deck lists on the side here.
It's Moto then. Moto eats your mouse cursor.
What the heck?
I see your floating mouse cursor over Moto, but I assume you're capturing, like you told Discord to look at Moto. Okay, now it's gone.
Huh.
Maybe our opponent just went to the bathroom.
Oh no,
Okay.
they were deciding that play we talked about earlier.
Okay, and we slip their guy when they go to attack, right?
Yeah. It's gonna come back, but
Likely. Very likely.
okay, they can't messenger.
Oh. That's why they're Searing Speared. They have nothing. They probably have another one, which probably means his Huntmaster is dying.
Sure, but it gains us 2 life and makes a 2/2. Like,
yeah, it does gain us 2 life and make a 2/2. That's almost a Thragtusk.
Yeah, and if it doesn't die, like, it'll flip out after our turn, because we sure ain't as hell ain't casting anything.
Yeah, we're unlikely to cast spells. Yep, there they go.
So our hand's a bunch of removal.
Odd.
They probably have a Hellrider or a Falconwrath Aristocrat on this turn, then? Yeah, Treasure Slip's a really cool card.
Yeah, it's a nice card. Waiting for a Flib. I think we've played Flib before. I recognize that kind of a name combined with that avatar of a moss monster.
Okay, here comes either a Hellrider or a Falconwrath.
Hey, punish us for using our Tragic Slip.
Yep.
Hey.
Well, that sucks.
Do we just play that to draw cards?
As a draw 2?
Nah, I think the 3/3 is more valuable. This would have been a really cool turn to draw Bonfire deck.
There's no reason to hold back this wolf. Their hasted threats are too big for it to be blocked.
Or they fly.
Yeah. Like, this can block a Hellrider, but it, you know...
Mm-hmm. So Garrick might have gained us some life.
I
made
think,
a 3.
yeah.
Like, I just... More Thragtusks, but a little worse. I guess they could choose not to attack Garrick, which would be extremely frightening, but I also think a huge mistake.
Yeah, because we draw 3 and then, hopefully, set back up.
Play a Thragtusk.
Oh, it's Thundermaw Hellkite turn.
Nope, Zealous, they're going to steal Garrick and then draw a bunch of cards.
They can steal Garrick and draw 4.
Which I think is just game. Unless Bonfire of the Damned is the top card of our deck.
Yeah, or they could steal Beast Token and attack us for 10.
Yeah, that would also be reasonable.
Yeah, alright.
They're choosing to do that. Okay.
Well, especially because we don't get this token back.
Yeah, they're going to eat it with Falconwrath.
Like, that's a removal spell on top of it. Is this attacking Garrick? No. Well, on the plus side, if they would have Searing Speared our head, we would have lost.
Ah.
We draw...
You want to draw 2 cards? Do 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 do. Oh, at least that doesn't work because it's going to gain indestructible. But
right, and then we die. But like we just lose right here on the spot.
ah. That is 10 lands.
Thanks, Garrick. Garrick tried, alright? Garrick drew us 4 cards. It's not his fault.
I'm sorry, it's 11 if you count Farseek as a land. Just sack your zealot's conscripts.
It's even a human, so this gets a +1/+1 counter.
Just do it.
Okay.
Okay. I guess that would have been cool if we could, like, slip it now, but we can't.
Nope. Even if we could, we're dead, right? Like, 3.
Oh no, we die immediately. Like, I guess, yeah, we would have to have nothing. There's nothing we could have.
Right. All
Oh
right.
no, this is why what's happening. Oh, remember when you said we were going to lose 4 games to Garrick
Ooh,
yesterday?
thousands of games to Garrick. We're gonna lose tens of games to Garrick. Ah,
we're going
damn
to lose
it.
79 games to Garrick. We're losing to. For those watching the video, go watch the Gauntlet, the Innistrad drafts we did yesterday. Crap.
I agree. Wow. This also sucks. This is 3-5 drop. Yeah, I can't keep that.
Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Play a Delver Secrets. Nope.
Pod?
I think it's gotta. It's either that or junk.
Could be drunk.
Who's playing Sun Petals? It's pod or junk. And because they're playing birds, that means.
Oh, they kept a one-lander with birds? Oh!
Wow.
Oh, I'm ready for you. Ah,
They're ready for us too, though.
Fine. Damn
Yes.
it. Bonfire. Bonfire
okay.
off the top would have been beautiful there.
They're playing pod. They're the
Yeah,
only ones that
yeah.
playing both Copperline Gorge.
The Copperline Gorge is the tell there because they have to be in that format.
They play pod here. Oh, they're playing Huntmaster. I guess that card's not going to flip.
Oh, goodness.
Man, I miss Birds of Paradise.
Hey, Gavney Township.
Ah, crap.
Oh my god, please. Bonfire off the top.
Bonfire off the top.
Keep making X1s.
Do it.
Keep doing it.
Do it.
Sure, that's an X1.
Radiant Emissary is a cool card. Well, I guess we can advance our mana.
Yep. We need it. Bonfire.
Yeah, either that or like we Huntmaster next turn. We could potentially risk Rakdos' return next turn. Depends how much of their hand is left.
Alright. The problem being that Gavney Township is going to kick our ass.
Yeah, Gauntlet Township will kick our ass. Now, the township will persist past, are they just going to do it now, or are they making something?
Pod?
Did they just realize they could cast, like, a 6-drop and are doing it?
No, this is Pod, and they're going to sack the Viridian Emissary.
Okay.
Which gets them a 3. So a Blade Splicer?
Gets them a Blade Splicer and a land.
Okay. That's fine.
Thankfully, we can kill Pod if it comes to that.
And there's Blade Splicer.
Yes.
Yes! The miracle happened.
And we even had the mana to do it for 3 to kill the golem.
Boom! Okay.
Just
Backhand.
dynamite.
So backhand the board. Hopefully we can Rakdos return for their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is they have a pod still. We need to kill that with the Putrefy pretty quick. Because of that sort of shit.
Yeah, because of this. They're not smart.
That could have been an attack for 3. I accept.
Maybe they wanted their guys to be untapped.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think we're too far behind.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
This is a okay deck. What we're playing is not bad. This matchup's not even that bad.
Right.
We mold to like
I was
4.
gonna say we're actually like actively fighting this game on a mold of 4, so
Yeah,
like
and like last game was also 11 lands against an aggressive deck. We're playing a sort of lower tier deck that also happens to be drawing extremely poorly. While our opponent drew the single best card in their deck that makes their deck work, you know?
yeah. All right, so there's Huntmaster. That's fine. Oh god, no, we're gonna Huntmaster War. Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Active player, non-active player, so they win it. Huntmaster Wars suck, by the way. They're dumb as hell. All right, so check that out. Check this out. So first things first, they're just gonna. I didn't block because I didn't want to,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Huntmaster Wars are a stupid thing where two Huntmaster of the Fells, exist on the board at the same time when no spell has been cast. What this means is they both go on the stack, but the opponents, the person whose turn it is not, resolves first.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that if I even want to keep my card around, because theirs would kill mine before mine flips. Of course, here the Gavany Township says that we're out of this game anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so there's really no.
The only circumstance I think in which we were in this game again, whereas if we didn't do that, let them kill our Huntmaster and then drew another Bonfire of the Damned.
They would have a 5/5 still
Yeah, they still would have a
because
5/5.
we don't have Bonfire high enough to kill the flipped side with a +1/+1 counter.
But now we can't win.
All they
And
need to do is attack.
yeah, all they need to do is attack. Oh, so sideboarding again.
Okay, I'm moving along. There's no point in continuing from that moment after they showed us the lethal. Pillar Flame's decent here. Might want Acidic Slime as another way to deal with.
It is just like on curve killing the pod.
Yeah,
What are they
Mortars is
playing?
fine. Scavenger Goose is also good here. Again, it stops the buyback on Strangroot Geist. Cage is not so much. There's only Strangroot Geist.
Yeah, just I'm looking at.
I mean, we saw their deck. So the Huntmaster, the Strangroot Geist, and the Blade Splicer are all 4-ofs. The pod is 4-of, and then the rest of their deck is a bunch of 1-ofs that they tutor up.
Yep, they toolbox for like Wormcoil Engine, Inferno Titan, Elish Norn. Like they go 4, 5, 6, and then 7, and
I'm
then
gonna do
Elish
this.
Norn they
I'm
win.
gonna do this swap at the least.
Yeah, like another Bonfire because they're so Monodork heavy.
Bringing in the slime.
Liliana would not be bad either.
They have too many 101s. Or, like Birds and Pilgrim. Speaking of which,
Yeah,
that might be a reason to bring in pillars.
you start poking their guys.
If I can
Yeah.
stop their mana base from existing in the first place, I'd probably feel good. Maybe Curse based on that? Like, it just kills all their mana dorks?
Yeah, and they also have things like Mortar Pod, which that also kills, I
Yeah, I
think.
kind of like Curse here because it really does a lot of work against them. Stringer Geist immediately comes in and persists. Blade Splicer actually fails to stay in play, which is pretty bad
Yeah.
for Birthing Pod.
Mm-hmm.
So
what kind of cuts do we want to make?
I think the other return. Yeah, it costs 5, which is a lot, I realize. I'm gonna go with 1 Garrick. And... Slip.
Pull a slip out.
Could do... Actually, Slip could, like, switch Doomblade. Nah, let's keep Doomblade in. It's fine.
Yeah, Doomblade is... Yeah, they have too many, like, Titans for me to...
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still have big threats. Would you like to play first? Yes.
Oh, there's our sideboard.
Yeah.
This actually looks fine.
Yeah. Cards on curve.
Like, we lead with Blood Crypt, and then we can root Brown Crag.
Yep. Get us a Scoos, which is good.
This is a deck where our opponent will just like let us play a Huntmaster and not do anything about it. So,
yeah, the only thing they can do is have their own Huntmaster, and then we get in those dumb Huntmaster wars. So the reason this deck exists at all is actually these lands. Razorridge Thicket and Copperline Gorge are the reason that this deck can function. God damn it.
No.
I might Bonfire for 1 next turn. Also, our opponent knows we have it.
Yeah, we didn't do an upkeep thing yet.
No. See, I know you want to put the stop on the upkeep, but that still reveals it. It would say we're in draw. Like, there's basically no way to avoid showing a miracle. It's dumb.
Oh. What if they didn't realize that? What if our opponent punts?
I accept. Maybe they didn't have a choice. Maybe that's what their hand is set up for.
And then our Scavenging Ooze will get to grow at some point. Maybe next turn if now if we draw a land, we're playing Huntmaster.
Yeah, this is
if
probably
we don't draw a land, we're playing Scoos.
This is probably a O-ring. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So our line is well known.
Okay, we are going to play Huntmaster of the Fells. Hello.
There is an option to always bluff miracles, but the downside is you are always bluffing miracles. It sucks.
Yeah, you play Curse of Knight's Hold. They get their land. They don't get to get the thing off their pod. All their guys are shrunk forever.
Yep, this means that Blade Splicer is a really crappy play. It means that all their mana dorks, most of their potable creatures suck.
Doesn't mean their Stringer Root Guides are 3/2s, though, for free.
Well, oh, is this Worm Coil? Oh.
No, they're just going to blow up the curse.
That's
okay.
fair. I think I'll play Scoos and pass.
You could attack with Wolf.
Yeah, probably I'll do that. I'm scared of land Elish Norn.
Oh, that's why they had to kill our thing.
Yeah, because this would have died basically on the spot.
Yeah. Is it worth attacking with Ooze to try to get their Ooze?
Kind of thinking of just passing and letting Huntmaster flip and kill Acidic Slime.
That's fair, yeah. There's so many like Huntmaster-like cards, I always confuse them. But this one, when he flips, he shocks something and deals 2 damage to a thing, right?
Yeah, 2 to opponent, 2 to a thing they control.
Then there's the other Huntmaster, which is just tapping your Wolf's fight. It's fun because the cards actually go well together.
Because this way we, like...
Well, it shrinks Geisthaunt Monk for 1.
Yeah.
We could actually do fun tricks with that, in that,
If they play 2 spells, it flips back and makes another wolf, which is nice for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we get to... I'm not gonna upgrade anything. Maybe they'll make a mistake attack.
If they attack with the, if they attack with the monk, okay.
All right. So I'm going to take advantage of the fact.
Yeah, but this time we win the Huntmaster.
Yeah,
fight.
we get to Huntmaster fight, but this time we win it.
This time we win it.
I think I'm attacking with Scoos.
Yeah, they have to commit a lot to it to kill it. And if they block with Geist Honored Monk, we can pull a trick.
Yep.
Called Killing Llanowar Elves. They also could just go to 5.
Yep.
You know, like you do.
So here's the Huntmaster Transform Zone.
They're empty-handed, so this literally cannot go wrong. Cha!
Again, this was super common. You had to control when Huntmasters flipped because it was very common for both players to have one. Like, the card was everywhere.
Play Elish Norn and kill us. Oh! Yeah, okay. Yes. Although, we can't do anything cute here. We just have to kill the sword.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
We double blocked the Geist Honor Monk and now they're out, and then we just deploy the rest of our hand threats.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay, the Curse was actually decent, but they had the use for it.
Yeah.
Anything? I don't think we have anything else really to make any changes. Man, first win of the night.
Yeah,
Feels good.
I'll take it. Now let's just rock it back.
Let's rock.
Let's see if Garrick can get us another loss,
Final
right?
Garrick.
Yeah.
Final Garrick.
I left in the one Garrick just in case.
Just in case.
But yeah, so Huntmaster was a really big card in this time period.
His hand does not do anything.
Good old greedy mulligans. Against this deck, I don't want a hand that's first play is on turn 4. By that point, if they're actually going off well, like,
Yeah.
undisrupted, like, we probably lose the game. Like, especially if our only play on 4 is, like, a Huntmaster.
They're gonna make their pod. Nope, they're gonna Strangleroot Geist us.
Okay.
Yonk. I hope we draw a land at some point so that we can actually play these Thragtusks.
I want to draw a duel right now.
Shock would be tops.
Swamp would be tops.
Swamp would be fine. Would be good. Or mountain.
How about nothing?
Nah, how about nothing?
Alright, looks like we're going to be dead before I even get to cast these Thragtusks.
Seems like it. They got their pod, though. It'll be fine.
This is Huntmaster to produce lethal.
And here we are. We're going to draw the bonfire.
Bonfire 2 gets rid of some of their board, but, like, again, so this is...
Okay.
Nope.
Hooray! We're escaping from this deck.
That's
Every
good.
time we play Jund, it goes so poorly. I don't think we've ever had a good showing of Jund, which is sad.
Yeah. Oh, that was a quick one. Wow! There's the insult points? Alright, I did not know that.
We got the booby prize. We won a game.
We did win one game.
We won a game. No.
No.
Maybe some other time, but not right now. Because we would just get jumped again and then be like completely demoralized.
We'd be hyper dead.
Like, oh no.
I feel bad because I didn't get to talk a lot about the decks I know in this format. Like I played Junk Reanimator. I played the Delver decks. I've played Wolfrun Ramp. I've played Tempered Steel, and none of those showed up.
They didn't show up. Instead, we had like everybody's favorite C-lister decks that no one cares about. No, Pod was
Pod
real.
was not a C-lister deck.
Pod was not a C-lister deck.
The deck based around a banned modern card is a.
Yeah, we did play the least fun to play against deck though.
But yeah, that one is a real deck. Like that one's the realest.
No, Flash is a real deck. Like we've played that deck in a Gauntlet before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the 3-color like Sphinx's Rev Control is incredibly powerful and a really good place to be.
But instead, we have we got John.
Do a run through what was left, the other decks in the format. I can quick talk about the ones that were the big ones. We saw Pod, so I don't need to touch on Pod. Everybody knows Pod from having seen it right there. You didn't even get to see the real power of Pod, which is it sacking Blade Splicer to go get Huntmaster, sack Huntmaster to go grab like it just keeps moving on and has a lot of targets.
And then you eventually turn you grab a Ooze and then turn your Ooze into a Worm Coil, and then turn Worm Coil into Elish Norn. Tempered Steel. This was kind of a deck I was hoping to get.
Yeah, I played this one at a PTQ to like a 6-2 finish. But Tempered Steel was a pretty real deck that had a very big showing in I think it was Worlds. That was just like half this deck. It's based around Tempered Steel, obviously, here, but then, you have a lot of cards that go with it that you might see from, affinity decks.
Would you imagine a world where you can play a 0-mana 3/3?
Yeah, Signal Pest.
One you don't see a lot is Glinthawk.
Yeah, Glinthawk rules, though.
Glinthawk was very good because you were playing it with things like Signal Pest and Mimnite, so who cares? And Moxen.
Well, played Glinthawk and Glinthawk Idol. Glinthawk Idol was one of the most important cards of the deck because it was a vehicle would probably be the closest comparison. Or obviously a Jade Idol is the best comparison, but to modern playstyles, a vehicle is probably the closest thing.
Plus, it was it didn't die to sorcery speed creature removal.
All right. What else? I think that's most of the deck. It's just Tempered Steel and cards that go with Tempered Steel.
Mm-hmm. There was Wolfrun Ramp.
Yeah, Wolfrun is a card that we've
seen Kessig Wolfrun before.
Yeah, plus X plus O and Trample. The card that this went with in the deck was Inkmoth Nexus.
It turns out that Infect is stupid.
But that's not... It wasn't an Infect deck. It was a Primeval Titan deck.
It was a primetime deck, and you're playing Rampant Growth, for real, actual Rampant Growth.
Yep.
And, birds.
Rampant Growth, Fear of the Suns, birds. You got to play Huntmaster because you were a red-green deck. You played a lot of red Pyroclasm removals.
And you could Green Suns for 1. Everybody loved Green Sunning for 1.
Yeah. Slagstorm was one of the way you kind of stayed alive against aggro decks. Yeah,
the Galvanic Blast.
Which was shock 80% of the time in that deck, but it could pull off between Solemn, Sphere of the Suns, and Inkmoths, it could pull off Galblast for 4. Delver, we've shown off Delver enough times that I don't need to explain how Delver functions as a deck.
Just imagine Delver of Secrets, and you know what the deck is. You're with its old buddy Snapcaster Mage, also playing Geist of Saint Trav.
Yep. But the card that the deck in here was playing...
The card you don't see as much anymore.
Was Runechanter's Pike. First strike plus X plus O, where X is the number of instants and sorceries in your grave. Usually this was like 3 or 4. It wasn't like, like I'm not killing you in one hit, but like you equip this on Geist of Saint Draft, it can't die in combat anymore.
Yeah, can't die in combat anymore. This list is also playing Invisible Stalker for like the stupid reasons, so that you can be huge.
Yep. One of the cards that made Delver as strong as it was actually the power of Vapor Snag. Which is just unsummon with its controller loses a life. But when you had like this plus Snapcaster, it was impossible to keep threats on the board against your opponent.
Also, the thing getting unsummoned is Master Shredder. Look at it. Look at the guy getting turtles. We showed off the Rakdos aggro, which is just a not a zombie deck as much as like some of the zombie decks were at the time, but definitely a strong one. Bant like
Auras.
Your aggressive deck. Yeah, this is not. It's a strange deck. This deck.
This one was fringe. This wasn't a like everywhere deck. I put in Geist thinking that would just give me Geist Saint Traft, but there's a ton of cards with Geist in their name.
It's not the worst art for Geist of Saint Traft I've seen, but it's pretty poor. Yeah, basically you're playing things like Invisible Stalker.
I want to say that both Sphinx's Rev and Delver weren't overlooked. Like I played at a tournament the weekend after RTR like came out, and yeah, Sphinx's Rev was like a $4 card there, but by the end of the weekend it was like a $10 mythic that was continuing to go up. Like,
or did you mean like overlooked in the sense that they overlooked the designers?
Yeah,
like,
if the designers certainly did. Delver was also not a card.
Yeah, Delver specifically was overlooked because that was a late addition to the the design process.
I want to say anybody that said Sphinx's Rev wasn't played early in Standard is pulling your leg.
Because it was played a lot during Standard. It might not have been played immediately.
It was even. Even at that first event, I played against a shit ton of Sphinx's Rev decks. It sucked.
But Bantoras. Not quite Boggles, but it's close.
Yeah.
You're playing things like Abundant Growth to power your Ethereal Armor.
I can't spell Rancor, but Rancor was in Standard with this. Ethereal Armor with this. This deck was actually, I remember it being more popular when the fake Armadillo Cloak was in Standard.
Mm-hmm. One of the things about this deck is that it's running a lot of commons and uncommons. Really, just like Geist is your dollar card in it. Everything else you could like pick up with draft leavings.
Yeah, but yeah, it was basically about making
Cavern of Souls.
Yeah, it was basically about making an invincible Geist of Saint Traft or Invisible Stalker and just going to town with like Spectral Flight or Ethereal Armor on them. Mm-hmm. Aristocrats. This one's going to be hard to explain in just cards. Let's start with Cartel Aristocrat.
Yeah, that's the Aristocrat so-called name, and then you also have Falcon Wrath Aristocrat.
Thank you for the bits, Squirrel Token.
It's bits.
Yeah, so the Cartel Aristocrat is one of the cards that the deck is named for. Sacrifice a creature, Cartel Aristocrat grants protection or color of your choice. That's ability's good, but the sack outlet was what mattered.
Yeah, the other Falcon Wrath Aristocrat we've seen tonight.
Right. But the point is these two cards. So Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, which lets you sack creatures indestructible, and becomes bigger if you sack humans. Then Cartel Aristocrat is allows you to sack for similar things. The rest of the deck is things like
Doomed Traveler, and then Skirkstag High Priest.
Yeah, we also have Lingering Souls in here.
Conscripts.
But the card that brings this all together, it's like, well, what are you sacking for? We just put in the word blood, and that should get us Blood Artist. Which, is this list not playing the Blood Artist, or are they on the board?
This is not playing Blood Artist. It's not even on the board.
Huh. Blood Artist was the payoff, one of the payoff cards for the deck, I remember.
This version of the Aristocrats was the aggressive version where you're playing like.
Oh, this is human based. I see. This one's playing Champion of the Parish.
Yeah, you're playing Champion of the Parish, and then like most of your things are humans. It's basically just
Boros Reckoner, which is a card we played,
and Falcon Wrath and Resto that aren't. But who cares? And you did have Lingering Souls.
Yeah.
You did see Aristocrat sort of come back with a card they intentionally named an Aristocrat and Shadows over Innistrad. Like, if you type in Aristocrat, you should see it. Yeah, that guy, Indulgent Aristocrat.
Yeah.
This guy is sort of, well, not as good, but it was like a sort of vampires thing. Nobody remembered because that was Emrakul era.
Yeah. But yeah, so Aristocrats was named after these two sack outlets, and then, like, finding ways to abuse the sack outlets. It played Zealous Conscript, steal your stuff, sack it. This one was a Champion of the Parish style deck, but, like, the one I remember playing against all the time was, like, a Blood Artist variant, where, like, you would just get to a board where they controlled two Blood Artists, and they'd go, oh, sack everything I control?
Yep, and then you lose. That was also a deck not that far long ago with new
Goodbye, Pokekitten. Yeah, we're at the end. This is just us talking about the decks.
Junk.
We have Esper Control here first, which is a...
right, Esper Control.
This is one of the different Sphinx's Rev variants. But more importantly, this is the Drown Yard one, effectively.
Yeah, yep, it is playing Nephalia Drown Yard. This one is a lot like the Flash deck we saw, except black instead of red, and they're just doing black for, like, Sorin.
Yeah, so the black... So this is a deck based around Sphinx's Revelation and Supreme Verdict control with a lot of removal and such. But its win con isn't creatures. Its win con is milling you out with Nephalia Drown Yards. At some point, the game... At first, it can mill itself... because it is a deck with Think Twice. It's a deck with Think Twice. It's a deck with
Snapcaster Mage. It's only got one. This list only has one Snapcaster Mage.
Some of them played 0. Some of them were no creature.
Yeah.
Lingering Souls.
Yep.
Oddly enough, this Gauntlet doesn't have, like, an abundance of Lingering Souls decks. Those were also huge at the time.
They were, Lingering Souls was a extremely prevalent card.
So you would mill yourself with a Drown Yard to give yourself resources. You'd draw cards off Think Twice. You'd get Lingering Souls in your grave. You'd do all sorts of things.
But then you could turn your
10 tickets or $10 or 100 play points. But yeah, it was a control deck that won off of mill. Played Jace, the Architect of Thought, as an anti-Lingering Souls card. Sorin as, like, again, like a token-generating Planeswalker. Tameo as control piece that if you ulted, you won the game. And
it's actually playing a Evolving Wilds, which is adorable.
Yep. The last deck we have to talk about, because we played Jund and we played against the Sphinx's Rev deck. Let me show off Sphinx's Rev. I don't know if we actually... Sphinx's Rev is a pretty innocuous card that really was the centerpiece of the format for most of the time it was legal.
Yep, this card looks very simple, and yet...
Yeah.
It's very, very, like, linear in what it does. You just draw cards. You do what you need to do to live and be a control deck.
What usually it meant is that you would get to a point where you'd 1-for-1 with your opponent a bunch. You'd go 1-1, 1-1, O-Ring, D-Sphere, all sorts of different removal depending on if you're red or black. It might have been Ultimate Price. It might have been Mizium Mortars. It might have been things like that. And then you get to a point where you're almost out of cards and your life total's like at 5 because your opponent's been hitting you. And your opponent's like, all right, play some sort of threat, like some sort of minor threat. All right, go. And you're like, end step, Sphinx's Rev for 5.
Yep.
And then you're back at, like, 11. And you untap with 6 cards in hand.
You're also playing Supreme Verdict.
Yeah. Not only that, but if... there's a card in Eternal that reminds me of Sphinx's Rev, Channel.
Yeah,
where
is other
But
anti-rev.
The big thing is that, like, the first time you revved, you draw into your other rev, and then
you draw your other rev, and then over there you go.
But the last deck to touch on is the Reanimator deck.
And the most important card here is one called Unburial Rites, which you've seen us play in Cube before.
Yep. So 5 mana, resurrected creature, 4 on flashback. This is a deck that played Mulch. Reveal top 4 lands in your hand, everything else in the yard. You played a bunch of Mana Ramp and Arbor Elf, Avacyn's Pilgrim, and things like that. And then you had really. So this says it's a Reanimator deck. This list is not. This list is tricking you.
This is a ramp deck that also just plays Reanimator to kill after you've killed their ramp deck. And also your Resto Angeling, your Thragtusk.
Yeah.
These ancient friends.
This is a deck that goes turn 3 Thragtusk, or turn 4 Thragtusk, and then it restos the Thragtusk, and then the Thragtusk dies, and then you Unburial Rights the Thragtusk, and then Thragtusk dies, and then like you play another Thragtusk, and the Thragtusk dies, and then you play Angel of Serenity, picking up your Thragtusk from your yard, and like it never ends. This is just a deck that just endlessly plays Thragtusk. That's the entire point of it.
Kaz's favorite card, Grizzly Salvage.
Grizzly Salvage is another way it filled the yard for its reanimation stuff.
Yeah, I was just trying to see because Kaz really likes it.
Yeah, there were variants of this deck that were more into the reanimation side.
Yeah, like Grizzlebrand was around.
Yeah, Grizzlebrand was in the format, and your mana base was really good. Like, I played a variant that had Faithless Looting, and then you discard Grizzlebrand and get things going. It was interesting. Anyway, that's the standard Gauntlet for today. I think we've touched on everything we wanted to.
Yeah.
That was
we played John and lost again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you win some, you lose some, right? Like, you can't win them all, right? That's how it works.
We had to lose to Garrick.
I know, I had to pay the price, right?
You have to pay the piper.
All right. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining on this. Thank you, Gnomebitten, for joining.
No problem.
Thank you everybody in the zoo for joining. If you want to catch more stuff like this, I plan on doing more. I don't know if we'll touch the Gauntlet again, but we definitely are still going to be doing more drafts and more cards. I plan on doing some more Hearthstone while the dual arenas around. So if you want to catch things like that, you can always follow the channel.
I should probably do one of those at some point. I haven't played
They're free
in months. They're free.
If you want to support the channel, you can always subscribe and get access to cool skulls.
Skull.
It's a cool skull. Critics agree.
Critics agree that this skull, which is not a sprite from Final Fantasy V, is very good.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining, and have a good night, everybody.
Good night.